Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. Today is a travel / comic book edition. For those of you who just joined our channel recently, we just got back from WonderCon. And I swear not all of our videos are about comics, but I love comics. And today is a show up in Scottsdale, Arizona called the Old Man Con. It's a traditional comic book show where it's just comic book vendors and comic book artists. It's not like your traditional Comic Con that you're used to most likely, where it's, cosplay, Artist Alley, things like that. This is just a good old-fashioned comic book show, and I can't wait. I'm heading up there right now. I'm going up by myself. The family's staying back here in Tucson. I'll make the 100-mile journey up, and we're gonna have some fun today. I brought a little bit of money with me in case I see something I really like, but the reality is I currently have nothing on my list. There's nothing I'm on the lookout for specifically. I did bring a book with me as possible trade bait or sell bait, but I'm also 50-50 if I actually want to get rid of it. It's my Turtles #1 4th print signed by Kevin Eastman. It's a 9.4 CBC verified signature. I got it many years ago signed. I think I would totally have that remorse if I got rid of it, but there's also something really good. I have my Turtles #1 3rd printing I got signed as well, but there's just something about that first one. Like I said repeatedly on the show in the past, it's not necessarily about the value of the books or the grade of the book or any of that. It's the memory the book represents, and that was one of the first times I ever got to meet Kevin Eastman. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm 50-50, but there's something really good. I might be willing to part with it, but for the most part, I'm swinging up the show to check it out, hopefully see a couple friends while I'm up there, and then head back to town. But right now, let's jump on the freeway and head up to Scottsdale. On a side note, one thing I think is really interesting, this is now Tesla related. So at our old house, which was on the east side of Tucson, the southeast side, going to Phoenix was at least a 140-mile journey each way, and about 2 hours and change each way. At our new house, I'm literally 98 miles from our destination, and it's on the north side of Phoenix. So that I finally have an advantage or a pro for moving to the northwest side. It's way closer to Phoenix if I have to make that jaunt up there. It sounds like I'm knocking the northwest side. I'm not. I just got so used to being on the east side the last 13 years. All right, back to the road. Funny story, the audio cut out here and I don't know why and couldn't recover it, but all I did here was actually talk about some things that happened with the channel recently. And the biggest one is our new amount of subscribers we have. So for those who've been following the channel for a while, my goal is for us to get to 300 subscribers by the end of April. Well, here we are on April the 22nd. We're currently at 359. So thank you all so much for surpassing our goals and our expectations. To kind of go over what we've talked about in previous videos, we always did this for fun and it's still just an artistic outlet for me. However, I do want to start taking it more seriously. So we're trying to break videos that work within the algorithm now and everything else while staying true to what we do, which is just recording events in our lives. Nothing's really scripted or planned. I just kind of record and cut together as we go. So on this trip, we're going up for the comic book convention, but going forward, we're going to be going back to Disneyland here again soon. I'm hoping to do Tucson Comic Con in the near future. And I do want to do 1 or 2 more videos for Tesla's full self-driving beta, which we'll talk a little bit more about in this video, because we used it pretty much the whole way from Tucson, well, Marana to Phoenix. All right, well, that's all we have from here. I'm sorry that the audio cut out, but hey, you get to look at me driving all weirdly down I-10. And as I continue to drive down I-10, I thought about the other thing that I talked about during this whole lost sound part of the video. When I first put in the destination in Scottsdale, it told me we were going to arrive at 57% power. And at this point, it's now estimating we're going to arrive with 52% power. And that's actually after it dropped already from 53% estimation. So I've been saying it for a long time. I'm going to stop doubting whatever percentages the Tesla cars tell me I'm going to arrive at, because it always ends up being right and I get overly paranoid. But let's see what I actually do arrive at when I get to our destination. Just arrived here in Scottsdale, got parked, getting ready to go in, and I thought I'd share something. I did full self-driving beta the whole way here. I only had one hiccup. It was actually when we went to merge with the 202 and the 101. It didn't know what it wanted to do, and my exit was the next one, and it decided it wanted to get over to the left, even though I was about to get off in less than a quarter mile. So I disengaged at that point, but we went over 98 miles on full self-drive from Marana, Arizona, all the way up to North Scottsdale. So not bad. It was actually doing a lot better than I thought. But now we just got here. Con opens up in about 8 minutes. It's a nice little area here in Scottsdale. So we're going to go in, do our brief walk around. I don't know exactly how much I'll be filming inside, only because I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable with the dude walking around with the camera, because we're here to shop and be nerds, but I'm sure I'm going to get something. And to answer that question, we did arrive at 51% power. So the initial 57 it predicted was incorrect. We arrived with the final estimation, 51%. So not bad though. Only took 40% exactly almost to get here from Marana. So yay. Oh, and as we make our way into the show, I'm wearing a t-shirt I picked up from the Rialto. Support your local cultural centers and venues. If not, they're gonna go away. It's an important piece of history you gotta help protect. And yes, my car is called the Millennium Falcon. The Model 3 is called the Batmobile, because I'm a nerd. Not gonna lie, this is like the fanciest comic book show I've ever been to. I guess I shouldn't expect anything less here in Scottsdale. I feel like I should have a pay stub. Been here for like 5 minutes. I already picked up a book that was on the list that I didn't realize was on my list. I'll show you guys when we get home. It's that empty spot right there. From our friends over at Fantastic Worlds. Always a great pickup, always a good talk. So I'm taking my first break right now. I picked up a couple books, which I'll show you when I get home. I'm waiting for a friend to show up. There is one more book I saw that's technically on my list that I completely forgot about. And they're asking an okay price, but I want to take a closer look at the book. But I saw another booth next to him that was selling similar. Well, here, I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I'm waiting for one of my friends to show up. Thought I'd take a nice little break. And I have to say, we're at a resort here in Scottsdale. Best smelling resort I've ever been in my life. Like, I feel like I don't belong here. But, getting home for 5 minutes, we're gonna come back into the show. Oof, my knee is killing me. Fun fact for y'all. Tore my meniscus tendon a couple times. I think I may have tore it again. It is not feeling too good at all. And I couldn't find my brace this morning. Oh, the things I do for comics. First world problems at its finest. So I picked up my second book of the show. I'm just taking a quick break to go grab a drink. I left my water bottle in the car. I don't, like I said, there's not a lot of books that I'm really jonesing after right now. I ran into a couple of friends of mine that one of them knew I was gonna be here. I forgot to tell the other one, oops. And I have a couple other people that are coming up that I'm gonna meet up with and say hi to. We've been here for an hour and a half. I think I'm almost done, but this is a great show. It's just comic books. I was joking around with Bill from Fantastic Worlds. I was like, yeah, you don't have to like, get through people over there dressed as Deadpool to get to the comics. And the amount of comics are here is the exact same size as the amount of comics that were at WonderCon. It's just comics, there's nothing else. And makes my heart happy. So let's grab that quick drink and get back inside and see if anything catches our eye. There's one book I can think of that we'll cover that if I see it. I'm just doing our final walkthrough before we head out for the day. Lots of cool stuff. Picked up a couple books for myself and a book as a present for a friend. I didn't trade my book I brought, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think we're gonna head out and have some lunch. Well, that's a wrap from the old man con. Getting ready to head back to Tucson. I picked up a couple books and we'll talk about those when we get back. So I kind of stopped filming randomly there because ran into some friends and we decided to go have lunch and get caught up. So now, the long trek back to Tucson, and to show you the 2 books I bought for myself and the 1 book I bought for a friend. Let's roll. As we stop to charge the car here in Casa Grande, let's go over the books I purchased at Old Man Con. I'll start off with the raw books first, and I kept them in here. And hey, I made a little design here recently for a shirt. I'll see about doing my stickers and everything too. If you guys are interested in those, let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. But as far as the books go, I'm gonna start off with a book I got for a friend as a present. When he saw that I purchased a Turtles 3rd printing at WonderCon for a friend for his shop, he's like, man, what does something like that cost? I would love to get one of those one day. Well, it's not a 3rd print, but it is a 5th print. It's Ninja Turtles #1 5th printing, so it is a #1. I've actually never owned this one before, so I was like, oh, it's actually not a bad copy. I mean, there's some wear on the spine and everything. It's definitely like not a 9.8. I would classify it as probably a 4.5. Actually, a little more damage on the staple than I noticed originally. We'll say it's probably a 4.5 to a 5.0, which, hey, not bad. They were asking 100. I ended up paying, I think, 70 for it. But hey, not a bad book, right? The next book I got, this one is for me. So this is a book that's been on my list for a minute. I got nervous because if you were watching X-Men 97 there on Disney Plus, they introduced this person as the main villain. And I've always had a chance to pick it up in the past for not bad prices, because it was never on the top of my list because it's not really a sexy cover. And you never know it's this person's first appearance just by looking at the cover. But it's Uncanny X-Men number 221, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. They were asking $60. I was talking to the guy, and I ended up getting it for $50 because it's a really good, clean copy, clean staples. Strong corner there, a little dull corner there. It's probably an 8.0, 8.5. And I thought it was a good deal. And now that Mr. Sinister has made his premiere on, spoilers, X-Men 97, I've seen the value's been going up for it. Now, the big book I bought. This is a book I actually technically already own, but I own it in a raw form and a really low-grade copy. And for those of you that have been following me for a while, besides Ninja Turtles, I'm a big Captain America fan. And I think this is the book that everyone should have. And that's Captain America 109. It's the famous him popping out. When I was a kid, we were talking about it. I always thought this was like Captain America #1, just because it's, you know, it's the one that I always associate with Captain America. Now that I'm older, I realize it's definitely not. And it's the origin retold, covering the price here. It's a 7.5, so it's not exactly a high grade, but it's probably 6 points higher than my current copy. But it's a good, clean copy. I mean, I would like to see it. It's definitely got a little bit of a spine roll on there. This is one of those, I'm sure if I were to get it pressed, it might get a little bit higher of a grade, but it presents really well, and that's what I cared about in this case. So those are the books I picked up at Old Man Con here in Scottsdale. They had plenty of great books. And I actually got to hang out with one of you there. We've been talking a little on Instagram, and it was great to finally meet him in person. He probably had the best books in the place in his wagon. But they had original artwork. There was artists there. There was a lot of Holy Grail books. And that's why they actually had it in Scottsdale, is because they wanted to do like a higher end comic show. More like an art show than a comic show, but comics, you know what I mean? But it was a lot of fun. I always recommend go down to your local comic book shops, talk to them and see if there's stuff like this happening in your own area. I love these smaller comic book gatherings because you get to actually have more time talking with folks. People are usually more inclined for like trades and things like that. Because bear in mind, when you go to these shows, this is what they do for a living. So you go there to trade books, well, they still got to make a little something. So that's why I always like to offer trade plus cash if it's worth it for me at that point. Hey guys, thanks for watching another video with us. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to the next comic book thing I do, which will most likely be Tucson Comic Con at this point. But stay tuned. Other than that, there might be stuff coming up before then. I'm just not 100% sure. But like I said, take some time out, go to your local comic book shop, see what they have, see if there's any shows going on in the area, and, you know, just say thank you to a comic book dealer, I guess. This was a great trip. I got to hang out with some friends, got to meet some new friends. All in all, a nice day. Now we're heading back to Tucson. Car's about done charging. Time to hit the road again. Hey guys, thanks for taking another ride with us. Let's take another ride again soon. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and helps me out. Maybe comment down below. Do you like that design I showed you? Or what are some conventions you like going to? Or what's a great comic book pickup that you got at one of these smaller type shows? I'd love to hear it. All right guys, till next time. Bye-bye everybody.